So have you seen that new reality television show? It's called Real Attorneys from Atlanta. Well, it's not really entertainment. It is reality, and it is on television, but it's really got nothing on Vanderpump Rules or The Real Housewives. Nonetheless, we've got some drama, or as some other people would say, we're spilling the tea down in Atlanta. You know that Fani Willis is a district attorney from Fulton County. You know she's prosecuting Donald Trump and 18 others in a RICO case. Well, one of those defendants tried to create a distraction or some chaos. And he and his lawyer have said that Fani Willis was involved in a relationship with one of her employees, a lawyer by the name of Wade. Well, it came out, in fact, she was in a relationship. She says she started it after he was hired. A couple of other people said it was before he was hired. But the whole premise for this, the reason they're mad at Fani Willis is because they've said, well, Fani Willis paid him a lot of money. Fact is, Fani Willis paid him the same amount she paid everybody else on that particular team. But then he took that money and went on trips and paid for Fani Willis. Well, Fani Willis says, I paid my own way when we went on those trips, and since there's no documentation for either side, what the fuck are you supposed to do with it? But here's the thing that troubles me. If in fact Fani Willis did pay Mr. Wade, and then Mr. Wade said, hey, you want to go on a trip? I'll pay. What's wrong with that? I mean, think about that. Think about the place you work. When you get your check every 2 weeks and you cash that check and put that money in the bank, whose money is that? Is it still your employer's, or is it your money? And if it's your money, don't you have the right to choose what the fuck you want to do with it? I mean, isn't the Republicans that are talking about freedom? Anyway, Fani Willis says that didn't happen. And we're going through the process here, and Fani Willis was on the stand, which in most cases is not a good idea. But Fani Willis is pretty formidable. She's a pretty serious attorney, and she wasn't having it on the stand today. When this all shakes out, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. This is just a ploy from this defendant in the RICO case, try to create chaos and noise and try to discredit Fani Willis. But when it all comes down to it, whether Fani Willis had an affair or not, whether they went on trips together or not, what's that got to do with the fucking price of tea in China? It doesn't suggest that Donald Trump and all these 18 other fucks committed crimes in the state of Georgia, tried to overturn an election, tried to overthrow the country. That's the point. None of this has anything to do with it. And you have to understand in Georgia, there's a high bar for disqualifying a DA. And from what I saw in the trial or the hearing today, they aren't even coming close. They don't have any evidence of anything that would disqualify her. This is just a mess that's going to draw things out. When it's all said and done, Fani Willis will still be the DA, and Donald Trump and his 18 buddies, save for those who end up rolling on Donald Trump, are going to fucking jail.